In the past, stealing low temperature diamonds from NPC miners has been a very profitable business. Lately it's been more difficult with the changes to NPC behavior, but it seems the method is back in a wing version this time. The D2E merch store is open. There are t-shirts, sweaters, hoodies, mugs and tote bags with many cool designs. Head down to the link in the video description and get yourself your merchandise today. Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Elite Dangerous with Down to Earth Astronomy. So we're once again taking a look at hunting blood diamonds or low temperature diamonds from NPCs. And we're going to run over the whole method today. A lot of it is similar to what it was in the past. So what I'll be doing is first I will go over the loadouts, the equipment you will need, and how you locate systems. We're going to quickly get newer players up to speed, and then we're going to go into more details later on in the video about the new things and how it changed, because there's a lot of technical things that you need to get right. I should say that I was informed about this by a Commander Ninja Shoe 101 over on Discord, so thanks a lot for that, so I can share this with all you guys. But let's dive right into it, and let's start by having a look at the equipment. So, very quickly, this is not going to be a build guide. There might be a build guide for this later on if you're interested. First of all, we're just quickly going to run over the equipment you will need. For weapons, you will need first something that can take care of shields, so any thermal weapons is good. Lasers is of course a good option. Secondly, you will need something that can take care of surface modules, more specifically killing engines on the enemy ship. So Seeker missiles, or in this case Packhound, is a good choice. Packhound has a little bit easier time overcoming point defense, and that should be all you need in terms of weaponry. For utility mounts, we just need some shield hit points. You're not going to get shot at a lot, way less than we did when we did this solo. So you don't need a ton of shield, but having some is nice so you don't have to worry about it. And then you will need a frameshift wake scanner. The size of it doesn't matter, just any wake scanner will do. But make sure you have at least one fitted in here. Nothing special for the core internals, but there is quite a few modules you need on the optional internals. Obviously, we're going to be stealing low temperature diamonds, so you will need cargo, somewhere to store them. The more cargo you can figure out your ship, the more diamonds you can carry with you, and the more money you're going to make. Again, as I said, we'll need some shields. I've gone with Biweaves for the fast recharge. Again, hit points is not a huge issue, but at least some decent shield is recommended. We are going to be traveling a bit, so either a Guardian FSD booster or a fuel scoop, that's really up to you. Of course, a lot of collector limpets, so you can pick up all the diamonds that are floating out in space. When we pull them out of the cargo hold with the collector, where is it? Hatchbreaker, here it is. Hatchbreaking limpet controller. You will need that so you can break open the cargo hatch of the enemy ships. And you will also need a frameshift drive interdictor so we can pull them out of Super Cruise. And that's all the modules you will need, so let's move on and let's talk about where you should then be looking for ships. When it comes to finding a good system, there's a few criteria that needs to be fulfilled. I recommend you go into a site like EDDB, like I'm using here, and you go into systems. We want, of course, to make sure that the system is an anarchist system, because we don't want to have police coming chasing after us when we're doing our pirating. Furthermore, you want to make sure that the primary economy here is set to agricultural. If we make those first criteria, you can see that only 31 systems comes up. The second criteria is we also want an industrial secondary economy, and the only way you can pretty much do that is just begin to open up here in new tabs and begin to look. So this one has no industrial, but I believe this one does. So this one could be a good candidate. That is agricultural, it is industrial, and it is anarchy. So next up, you need to head out to the system and wing up with your fellow commanders. Now, if you're looking for someone to play with, I have a link for my Discord server. There is a looking for fleet channel over there. You can head over there and you can probably find someone to fly with if you need a wing for this. Now, in the system, you guys will be flying around and you'll be scanning the ships. Mainly transport ships are probably some of the better ones, and you'll specifically be looking at their module loadouts and looking for ships that carry mining lasers or refineries. This is exactly the same as it was before. If they carry mining lasers or refineries, then you know that they will be carrying low temperature diamonds. Of course, the bigger the ship is, the better. So if you get something like an ASP or one of the smaller transport ships, well, they will not be carrying that many diamonds, but if you find something like a Type 9, then you know you hit the jackpot. As soon as you find a ship with the suitable equipment, you're going to interdict it and pull it out of Super Cruise. Now this is where things begin to differ from the previous method. So we're going to slow down now and we're going to take this in a more detail. I'm going to show you a clip from when me and Commander Just Will, we tested it out together. And I'm going to be pausing the video at some intervals to try and explain what's happening. We're going to join the action here right after I pulled a ship out of Super Cruise and is beginning to attack it. Drives down to 50. Second volley. Drives are dead.
Excellent. I'm about 2 light seconds out.
So we come to this point now where the enemy's engines has been taken down and he's now tumbling through space. But look at how quickly he's going. I'm going over 300 meters a second and I'm having a hard time just keeping up with him. So now we need to slow him down before we can actually begin to collect some of the diamonds. And this is where you need your wing members, or at least one wing member. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to call in Just Will, or in your case it would be the rest of your wing, and then notice here what happens to the ship.
Is he going to do it?
Might have to get you a little closer before he...
Yeah, we boost in.
Oh.
There we go. There we go, there we go. Alright, let's watch his engines. I was still like near 5 kilometers out when he did that time. Right, clean engine burn.
I didn't get us FSD search. Oh, there we go. As you can see there, when another ship enters the instance, for some reason the enemy ship suddenly managed to repair his engines, begin to boost up, and he jumps out of the system. I don't know if this is some kind of level scaling that Frontier has implemented to make ships a little bit harder when you're flying in wings, or what's going on here, but when people come in, they seem to suddenly get the ability to repair faster and they will then try to flee. I should say this doesn't work every single time, and if you have issues where they don't jump out after, let's say, a few minutes after the fleet has caught up to the guy, what I recommend you do is that they jump out again and leave just one man in there and then let people come back in and give it another go, and eventually he should jump out of the system. This is when your wake scanner comes in. You're now going to scan the wake that he just left behind when he high-waked out of the system and following him to whatever system he just left for. I got Trianguli Sector OIT B3-2.
If we engage frameshift, we don't have to jump. Yes, an Anarchy system.
Perfect.
Right.
Okay, I got 2 of them right behind us. Okay, pause to the video here again. We just landed in the next system. Now there's a few things you should keep an eye on. First of all, make sure that the system that he's jumping to is also an Anarchy system. And in many cases it will be, because he'll jump to an uninhabited system, but we have seen situations where they're actually jumping into a non-Anarchy system. If that happens, you will need to go over the whole thing again to find him and force him to jump until he lands in an Anarchy system. I'll show you that. More importantly, notice here on my radar, you can see I have 2 wakes right behind me. And this is where there seems to be some kind of weird, I'm not sure if it must be a bug, but at least what happens here is the guy who jumped has now spawned 2 wakes in this target system he jumped to, 1 for each member in the wing. We are 2 people, we get 2 wakes. And we're now going to drop into separate wakes. Just Will's going to take 1 wake, I'm going to take the other. And we will both have a copy of this ship in our separate wakes. And of course, if you were 4 people, you would then have 4 copies that you have to try and distribute that amongst yourself. And we're now free to go, because as you can see here when I land, because his engines are damaged, when he drops out as soon as he did the FSD jump, he's now just spinning in place. He can't go anywhere because his engines are damaged. He's now sitting nice and still, and I can sit here and steal his diamonds. Now, this can of course be chained if you really, really want to abuse it. And you do that simply by saying, okay, if we were just 2 people here, for instance, then I would say, okay, Just Will could go ahead, and he would then take the diamonds from his ship. When he was done, he was empty, he would come over to my instance, And as soon as you jump into my instance, the same thing's going to happen. The ship is suddenly going to repair its engines, going to begin to fly off. It's going to jump again to the next system where there will be 2 new copies. Then it could be my turn. I will pick diamonds, and then I'll come over to the other instance, and we can chain him like that. And of course, if you have 4 people, it becomes even more efficient. Now, I'm pretty sure that the fact that you get 2 wakes, that is a bug. But even if you didn't, you will still be able to drop into the session. He will still be sitting still in there with his engines damaged, and you will still be able to share the diamonds amongst you. So as you can see here, it's definitely still possible to get some low temperature diamonds out of NPCs without going through the hassle of trying to stop them manually in space. In terms of profit money making, it's probably not up there when it comes to the same levels that you get from mining or other activities in the game. But it can be a lot more fun, and it's nice to see some group activities in the game again that allows people to get at least some degree of money out of it. Before we end, remember to subscribe to the channel for more Elite Dangerous content coming to you in the near future. Let me know in the comment section what you think. Thanks so much for watching, give the video a like, and until next time, I'll see you guys in space.